Hello, this is Girly Dinosaur, and yesterday, for the delight of some and desperation of others, No Man's Sky was released for PC after previously being released already for PS4, but it wasn't that good for the creators. I bought it before the release on Steam, and I was not excited to play it because I was interested in the game. They didn't sell it that good for me, even though I like those mechanics of exploring and everything else. I, since the beginning, felt it was kinda shallow, and I'm here to tell you why No Man's Sky is not a game for me. First of all, I'm going to start with the reasons that can be fixed. They said on the Steam store that the minimum requirements for you to play the game are at least a Windows 7, Intel Core i3 and 8 GB RAM, and you need at least an NVIDIA GTX 480 to be able to play the game smoothly. At least that's what they say. My PC surpassed the requirements and it was horrible. The game was lagging the entire time. I was playing between 15 to 30 FPS. Not only the FPS was very slow, but the game was sometimes lagging. It was not going forward. For some people, they experienced crashing. Luckily, the game didn't crash for me at all at any times. I just found very annoying that the Alt-Tab control was not working. Once you're out of the game, you're out of the game. I was not being able to go back in. My main problem with the game is how shallow it is. It didn't take that long for me to feel empty. No Man's Sky, more than being classified as a survival game, it should be said as an exploring simulator game. It's not that complicated to survive in the game. You just need to literally try not to die. And it's not that hard to find resources. So the main thing in the game is exploring. It didn't take long for me to start feeling very bored in the game, to feel empty. It really gets to you, the disappointment, once you feel that the game is not going to move forward. You don't have an objective, you don't have a reason, you don't have a motive to keep exploring, to keep going after resources, to keep mining. So you feel empty. It's just you in a gigantic universe that they build for nothing. They say it's 18 quillion planets, but it is all a recolored version of the same planet. The textures, the looks, they're not different. It's just that they take the bluegrass from one planet and then the next is green and then the next purple and then the next is orange. You don't see that much of a difference. And after I felt it, I went to see some gameplays and other players playing it, and I felt like, oh, that could be the planet I was in. It's not that different. So after starting feeling empty, the first thought in my mind was that this is just a more expensive version of Subnautica and an emptier version of Spore. And both are not that amazing type of games. So I think the biggest disappointment maybe is the amount you're paying for it and how shallow it is. If this game was like 90% cheaper, I think the critics would be lower on it and you wouldn't feel like you're wasting something in it, because the feeling of waste is just huge. And the waste feeling just increases once you feel in a gigantic space full of nothing. You don't have a reason for anything. You don't put, even though there is no intro, the game doesn't need to have an intro, but if at least slowly keep giving you reasons, you find a destroyed space camp in a planet, and there you find information about a race or the person that was there, and then you can keep putting things together like a puzzle. And because the galaxy is gigantic, maybe the puzzle I'm gonna form and what I'm gonna think that is going on is completely different than yours. So why couldn't they do it? It's not that difficult. So you just keep going and going and going and going for no reason. It has a really good idea to it, done completely wrong, with the marketing done completely right. To the point that it feels like false advertising, because the marketing around it was so good that made everybody wait for it, wait for the game, will to play it, buy it, and it gives you, it's a lie. What they sold was not true. When you start playing, that was not it. This game is more of a mining simulator with a touch of inventory management test than a exploring and survival game. I just felt tired of mining minerals the entire time and try to manage my inventory, because that thing is ridiculously small, so you need to be like a genius on managing your inventory and how to send things here and there and create them. And that, I think, it's the hardest part in the entire game. And plus the buttons. You cannot select anything on the options menu or to do anything just by a touch. You need to press and hold. I can imagine on a meeting who came with this idea, like, let's make it the slower we can, let's test their patience, let's try to make them pull their hairs out of their head by pressing and holding the button. This entire game is a patience test, and I don't have it. I'm so sorry, I don't have it. In the end, I asked for the refund, and thankfully Steam gave me the money back to it. I'm going to spend on this money in something else, because no man, this is not the game for me. So this is just my opinion about the game. I know many people are enjoying it, finding a good pastime. You can listen to songs and just chill and play around it. But this was not what I was expecting, even though for a chill game, it's just too shallow and nah. So if you really enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like. If you have a different opinion to it, or if you felt something different, please leave down here on the comments. I'll be more than happy to communicate with you guys. Don't forget to share this video if it was interesting for you. It would help me a lot. If you're new on the channel, don't forget to subscribe down here, and you're gonna receive notifications every time I post something new. All my social media links are going to be down here, and see you soon!